right, our county clerk is taking care of the election, as many of you could expect, so we're just going to open. As we say the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll be looking at the flags behind us. Please continue to look forward at the flag up front. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, gentlemen, I don't believe we have any. Were you given any election orders, Jeremy?
No election orders.
So we have our invoices in the edit registers.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the invoices and the EBIT registers as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Down to our general business, we have our prior meeting minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the prior meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I believe we did have some erroneous assessments in.
Make a motion for the erroneous assessments combined and divided as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Personnel and payroll changes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for personnel payroll changes as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Would like to make a motion for the bills to be paid as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner reports. Commissioner Ellis, do you have anything to report this time?
Yes, sir. On May 5th, the Parks and Recreation Board will meet at 6 p.m. at the Valley Park. And on May 10th, I also have a Fire Service Board meeting at 6 o'clock. That's all I have.
Commissioner Foster?
Yeah, we had our Region 2 Workforce Development Board meeting. We have some times we're trying to put a new director in and also a new director of our One Stop. And we do need some additional members of the board from elected officials, so I'm going to try to recruit Commissioner Skidmore to do that with me.
All right, looking forward to that. There is a Development Authority Board meeting that is happening right now, and there will be a Health Board meeting next Tuesday, May 3rd, at the Health Department. Is there anyone here that would like to make a public comment regarding something that is not on our agenda? Okay. We have state settlements and fiduciary orders.
Make a motion to accept the estates and settlements and fiduciary orders as presented.
Second.
Oh, and authorize the president to sign.
Second the revision.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Larry, did we have a one estate that we needed to look at this evening? And
there are several. I don't know if anybody's here. The county commission had previously ordered that certain estates be set for hearing. Is anybody here on the estate of Rosa Lee Miller Christian?
we had a hand up back there.
Okay. Is anybody here on the estate of John S. Cook Jr.? Gordon Garfield Harper, I believe she's here. Marion Franklin Rose. John W. Smith. Betty Ann Snyder. Okay, so we have two that are here. Are you Miss Thornton? You're here in the estate of Rosalie Miller Christian? Okay.
Oh, she's on July 2.
Okay, not for this one. Okay.
So we only have one here for the estate, it looks like.
Yes. If
So-
you want, I can give you a background as far as the fiduciary office
Sure.
is concerned. Gordon Garfield Harper died on December the 10th, 2015, and he did have a will at the time. On February the 9th, 2016, Charlene Raffles was appointed as administrative CTA. The beneficiaries were, there were 4 siblings, Charlene Raffle, Robin Bayer, Gordon Harper, and Lori White. The appraisement was filed on May the 18th, 2016, listing real estate valued at approximately $83,520, tangible personal property valued at about $3,900, and money in the bank of $1,146.69 for a total value of the estate of $88,566.69. A copy of the show cause order was mailed to the administratrix, creditors, and beneficiaries on January the 11th, 2022. No response was received, and a report and notice was issued and mailed to the beneficiaries and creditors again on May the 8th of 2022. We had not received any response to it. So the estate's been open since 2015, and there's been at least 3 years in which there has been no activity on the estate, and that's the reason we're bringing it before the county commission for the administrative closure. But as I indicated, the administratrix is here and has indicated to me she'd like to speak to you.
Okay. Ma'am, if you want to come up and to one of the microphones, and this one's fine. If you would, just state your name and address for the record, please.
Charlene Raffle. I live 1009 Gordon Drive, South Charleston.
Okay.
You may need to
Can you
pull
get
it.
Pull the mic down just a little bit. There you go.
a little closer, please?
There has not, the only thing I have left on the estate is just to sell the land. I have nothing else to sell. It's been pilfered, went through. I've even filed police reports here. And the only thing left for me to do is to hire a real estate, I guess, to take over. I've not had any help from the siblings. They don't pay the taxes. I've paid them since 2015.
So, do you want to sell the land, or is that your goal?
Yeah, we
Okay.
need to sell it just to, I offered to see if they wanted to see about dividing it up. They didn't want to do that.
Okay.
So that's,
So, just want to work with the fiduciary office to get the land sold, and then we can get this estate closed and get it off the books.
okay.
So if you would reach out to our fiduciary office sometime this week and let them know your procedures, and they can help you in any way to
Okay.
try to get this sold, and so we can get this estate closed.
I'll find a real estate to take over.
Okay?
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need any action on the other estates, Larry?
Yes, and I have an order for you to sign, since there's nobody else has appeared here, asking the county commission to administratively close those estates.
I'd like to make a motion to administratively close the estates as listed, and for the commission president to sign as presented.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Jeremy, if we'll skip budget revisions and come back to that. So let's go down to our agenda items, and we have a proclamation coming up as National Small Business Week, and Commissioner Foster has a proclamation to read.
National Small Business Week 2022 proclamation. Whereas America's strongest economic growth in almost 40 years has been driven by the resilience of our small businesses who, despite a worldwide pandemic, continue to pioneer innovative solutions to our country's greatest challenges and create opportunities for families and workers. And whereas from the storefront shops that anchor Main Street to the high-tech startups that keep America on the cutting edge to the small manufacturers driving our competitiveness on a global stage, small businesses are the backbone of our economy and the cornerstones of our nation's promise. And whereas when we support small business, jobs are created and local communities preserve their unique culture. And whereas because this country's 32.5 million small businesses create nearly 2 out of 3 jobs in our economy, we cannot resolve ourselves to create jobs and spur economic growth in America without discussing ways to support our entrepreneurs. And whereas the United States of America has proclaimed National Small Business Week every year since 1963 to highlight the programs and services available to entrepreneurs through the U.S. Small Business Administration and other government agencies. And whereas Putnam County Commission supports and joins in this national effort to help America's small businesses do what they do best, grow their business, create jobs, and ensure that our local communities remain as vibrant tomorrow as they are today. Now therefore, we, the Putnam County Commission, do hereby proclaim May 1st through May 7th, 2022 as National Small Business Week, dated this 26th day of April, 2022, signed by all three commissioners and the Putnam County Clerk.
Thank you. We also have our chamber president, Ashley Offer Glantz here. Ashley, do you want to say a few words about Small Business Week?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the proclamation acknowledging the small business community here in Putnam County. Putnam County is made up of primarily small businesses, so the Chamber would like to encourage all residents of Putnam County to support our small business community throughout the year, but specifically that first week of May. You can do so not only by shopping or dining or eating or however, but you can also give your support to small businesses by tagging them on social media or giving them a Google review or any way that just gives them a little bit of a shout out to say thank you for starting a business here in Putnam County and employing the residents here in our area. So commissioners, thank you again for the proclamation acknowledging the week of Small Business Week. The Chamber is always really proud of our small business community here and really thankful for your support.
Thank you. Right. Also, we have April is Autism Awareness Month, and Commissioner Ellis has a proclamation to read there.
Okay. Autism Awareness and Acceptance and Action Month proclamation. Autism is a lifelong neurological development disability resulting in significant difficulty for individuals and to the ability to communicate and understand social interactions and develop appropriate behavior in social settings. Autism affects not only the diagnosed individual, but the entire family and the community at large. Thus, we as a community see the importance of acknowledging support, celebrating our members and families whose mind, think, and fire beautifully deserving ways. Autism occurs in all races, ethnicity, and socio-economic groups. It is more than 4 times more common in boys than in girls. Therefore, 1 in 44 children is on the autism spectrum, with approximately 8,200 autistic children in the state of West Virginia. Now, therefore, we, Putnam County Commission of West Virginia, do hereby proclaim the month of April as Autism Awareness and Acceptance and Action Month in Putnam County, and encouraging all citizens to become educated about autism and support nonprofit organizations such as CARES, who brings hope and support to all who have autism and love those with autism.
Right. So we have another kind of award that goes along with this, but Ashley, do you want to speak now or just go through the next step with Jill? Would you like to come up and say anything? Come on up.
I just want to thank Putnam County for, accepting our community and giving this proclamation today to bring awareness to our autism community. CARES was formed 5 years ago to bring that support, and we are ever growing in our resources that we provide, and then providing more access to therapy. So thank you so much for the acknowledgement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next up, we have Jill Scarborough. We have a McLaury resolution. I'll read that and then we'll bring you up, Jill. Whereas U.S. Small Business Administration has selected Jill Scarborough McLaury, the owner of the Bright Futures Learning Services, as West Virginia Small Business Person of the Year for 2022. And whereas Ms. Scarborough McLaury earned a bachelor's degree in special education with a concentration in mental impairments and physical handicaps, and a Master of Science in Behavioral Analysis. She was the first board-certified behavior analyst in Southern West Virginia. And whereas Bright Futures Learning Services is a team of committed people who believe every child can and has the right to learn, they maintain close contact with national experts to assure that Bright Futures stays on the forefront of the field. And whereas Ms. Scarborough McLaury Lori is a founding member of a Mountaineer Autism Project, the founder of Community Autism Resources and Education Systems, a founding member of the West Virginia Behavior Analysts Association, and West Virginia's Policy Chair for Autism Speaks. Be it therefore resolved that we, the Putnam County Commission, hereby recognize, commend, and appreciate Jill for her dedication to make Bright Futures Learning Services in Putnam County a great place where every child can and has the right to learn. Signed by all three commissioners. Jill, come on up. You can say a few words, then we'll get a picture.
Well, you're welcome for blowing the agenda, the timeline with all those words. But no, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And as you know, it's the month of autism and also of small business. And so wanted to highlight how those two things go hand in hand, that, yeah, Bright Futures is here, and we employ now 40 people. So again, as we're talking about workforce development and supporting individuals with autism and other disabilities, recognizing the impact that has on our local economy, that literally we have families that have moved here on Main Street, Peyton and Pepe Boutique. Their business is here because they've moved here to get services for their families. And so that's one of the missions, is to make sure that we're not just othering our children, but recognizing what it does for our entire economy when we serve those children well. So, thank you.
Thank you. Jill, come on up for a vote. Let's give Jill another hand, just to embarrass her. She's walking around. All right, not so exciting. We have an attorney coming up. John Stump, let's talk about bonds.
I find this remarkably exciting. So, before you this evening is a supplemental resolution, which is the final action of the County Commission to authorize the issuance of the lease revenue bonds by the Building Commission for the Sheriff's Building. The Sheriff's Building, as we can all see, construction is beginning to progress, and the purpose of this bond issue is to pay a portion of the costs of the project. So with this action, all official actions required of the Building Commission and County Commission will have occurred, and we'll be in a position to close on the financing by the end of May.
Perfect.
So,
Any questions for Mr. Stump?
No, sir, I do not.
None.
What is it? I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
John, do you need any further documentation from us? All right. Greater Canal Resource Conservation and Development Update.
Too short for that. So my name's Dawn Limley, and I work with Capital Conservation District, and so I'm here this evening to represent the Greater Kanawha Valley RC&D. So what we do is we're a foundation that the Putnam County Commission has belonged to for a number of years, and we offer opportunities for development, opportunities for conservation services and projects within the county region. We serve 10 counties across the southern part of the state, so we have programs and grant funding that we offer to the community for them to better the areas that they're working in. We work with schools to develop programs for schools. We develop opportunities for people to do anything that's conservation and water-based or related projects within the community. We have several projects that we've done in Putnam County. We also have the city of Nitro that is on our board, and so we offer opportunities for us to work with you all and for you all to work with us to be able to further the projects that we support across the state. So this is developed by the conservation districts in partnership with the municipalities and the commissions within each region. So I came tonight just to represent them, to see if you have questions and find out about the status and partnership with you guys. We would love for you guys to come back on board. I know that COVID has changed a lot of things and how people operate, and so some of the communication has kind of fallen short as far as what we're doing and what we're doing in the area. So I brought some brochures if you guys want to take a look at this.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Picture, David.
So all of our projects are typically conservation-based. We get some funding from the West Virginia Conservation Agency to support the projects that we have. We do a lot of education, a lot of outreach, a lot of special projects with water and streams, land management, forestry, and various different other areas of that fall under that heading.
And what are the membership fees?
So it's a $250 annual fee to participate, and then hopefully the hope is that you'll get some of that back in the funding that would be returned to your county, to the area. We are seeking additional grant money for further developmental projects, and so that's something that we're looking into. The agency supports the conservation aspect of what we provide, but we do have additional funding that comes from other places. So what we like to do is just pour that back into the community through the projects that the commission is working on, through the projects the municipalities are working on, through private schools and practices. They all funnel through the participants within the group.
Okay.
Yeah, David, I want to make sure that you get your organization tied in here.
All right, Don, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Right. Our next agenda item we had tabled,
All right, I'd like to make a motion to table the,
or to read.
to retable, I'm sorry, to retable the order for
Okay.
Removed from the table.
remove.
From the table.
Okay,
We're on the D price.
Yes.
okay. All right, so remove from the table the order for the unused roads, streets, and travelways to be removed from the table as presented.
I second the motion.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Dee, you want to come on up?
Thank you for hearing me. Back in February, you all had entered an order abandoning property. Our client, Trademark Investments, had purchased property. The plat that they had purchased had been divided off into parcels, and then in between roads. It was intended originally to be used as a mobile home park, but that never happened, and our client bought all the parcels, but it still left the roadways. And we had a plat that was done by Randolph Engineering, and showing that the roadways that would be abandoned to our client, Trademark Investments. And I had a request on that back in February, which was granted, and an order was entered. But I was requesting the order be amended just to specify that those unused roadways would be abandoned to our client, so I can do a confirmation deed showing that they do own the entire parcel and would be paying taxes on it and everything.
Okay.
And the roads that were vacated and abandoned by the county commission, they're either all contained within property that is owned by Trademark or is adjacent to that property.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions?
It's
I
basically
don't, as long as, Larry, you're good with us making the transfer? Or just clearing up the paperwork, basically, right?
Yes. And I have a proposed order here.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to enter the amended order as presented.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Tina Peck with our DEA program. Looks like we have a few cases before us.
Good evening. First case is a public hearing for DEA case 2022-03, and I believe Ms. Rosalie is here this evening. DEA case 2022-03 is respondents John Thomas Fravel Meadows, Rosalie Elizabeth Meadows, Justin Lee Meadows, Clifton D. Meadows. Property located at 7361 Winfield Road in Winfield, West Virginia, tax map 205, parcel 9. On January 5th, 2022, a complaint was filed at the Office of Planning and Infrastructure. On January 5th, an inspection was conducted. The complaint was deemed valid and revealed the structure was starting to dilapidate, as well as trash and refuse on the property. On January 6th, a notification of complaint letter was mailed to John Thomas Fravel Meadows, the property owner, via certified mail. A copy of the letter is attached as Exhibit A. On March the 11th, the notice of complaint packet came back to OPI as unclaimed. A copy of the envelope is attached as Exhibit B. On January 6th, a correction letter of notice of complaint was sent to John Thomas Fravel Meadows because the dates in the letter had the wrong year of 2021, when it should have read 2022. A copy of the correction letter is attached as Exhibit C. On January 13th, the case was heard by the DEA Board. On January 18th, OPI received the returned certified letter receipts for the correction letter, signed but undated, by John Thomas Fravel Meadows. A copy of the receipts are attached as Exhibit D. The recommendations from the DEA Board to the County Commission included demolition of structure and removal of demolition debris, as well as removal of all trash, refuse, overgrown vegetation, and any other debris from off the lot of record. On January 27th, the County Commission heard the case and accepted the petition and filed the formal complaint with an addition to the recommendations to include cinder blocks that are salvageable can be salvaged. On February 1st, the formal complaint and attachment were sent to John Thomas Fravel Meadows, the property owner, via certified mail, along with a letter detailing public hearing request. A copy of the complaint is attached as Exhibit E. On February 8th, Rosalie Elizabeth Meadows came into the Office of Planning and Infrastructure and gave newly information that the property is owned by more than one heir and provided us with addresses. Excuse me. On February 28th, the formal complaint packet came back to OPI as unable to forward from USPS. A copy of the envelope is attached as Exhibit F. On February the 14th, notice of complaint letters were sent to the remainder of heirs, Rosalie Elizabeth Meadows, Clifton D. Meadows, and Justin Lee Meadows. A copy of the letter is attached as Exhibit G. On February 28th, OPI received Justin Lee Meadows' return receipt, signed but undated. On February the 17th, 2022, OPI received Rosalie Elizabeth Meadows' return receipt, signed but undated. On February 16th, 2022, Clifton D. Meadows signed for the letter. A copy of the return receipts is attached as Exhibit H. On March 24th, an amendment to the formal complaint to include all heirs of the property was approved by the County Commission. On March 29th, the amended formal complaint was mailed via certified to all heirs of the property, along with letters detailing public hearing request submission. A copy of the amended formal complaint and letters are attached as Exhibit I. On March 31st, 2022, Rosalie Elizabeth Meadows signed for the document. On March 31st, Justin Lee Meadows signed for the document. On April 4th, John Thomas Fravel Meadows' return receipt came back to OPI, signed but undated. On April 11th, 2022, Clifton D. Meadows signed for the document. A copy of the return receipts is attached as Exhibit J. On April 14th, Rosalie Elizabeth Meadows sent a written request via email to the county clerk, Brian Wood, requesting a public hearing. A copy of the letter is attached as Exhibit K. On April 19th, 2022, an order scheduling public hearing on landowners' written request for a hearing was signed and approved by the County Commission President. A copy of the order is attached as Exhibit L. On April 22nd, 2022, another inspection was conducted, which revealed that the property is in the same condition as the initial inspection. Copy of the photographs is attached as Exhibit M.
So in summary, the property's in the same condition it was when it was originally, the complaint was originally.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we need a motion to book a public hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to open a public hearing on day of case 2022-03.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I would also like to remind the commissioners that this is the final order stage
Okay.
tonight.
Thank you. And someone here to speak on this case, ma'am? Would you mind coming up?
All this stuff straightened up and who owns what. But I guess I'm here to ask for an extension on it.
Right, if you would, speak into the microphone, state your name and address, please.
Okay, it's Rosalie Meadows, and I'm at 7466 Winfield Road. But I'm asking for, or requesting an extension because we are currently under an option to purchase on the property. So, and it's understood with the buyer that that will be rectified by the end of the year. So that's what I'm asking for.
Okay, so you guys are selling the property, or you're purchasing? You're selling or purchasing?
We're selling it.
Okay, you're selling the property to a new owner. Okay. All right, commissioners, any questions?
Let me understand correctly. You're trying to enter an agreement with someone,
We already are in an option to purchase agreement.
option to purchase agreement. And a part of your agreement is that they would have to clean it up by the end of the year?
Yes, he gave me a letter stating that they understand that, that they're purchasing as is with all the structures that are there. And it's not just that, but it's on the other side of the road too, and there are several structures on the property. But his plan is to have everything demolished by the end of the year.
Larry, is there a way that we can enter an order through this process that would require the future owners to do that? My problem is we've went through this before, and when a sale was made, then we have to go chase the new owner.
Right.
That's what
And
we
this
do.
has been out there for quite some time, so
Yes.
I have it gives me pause.
And we've had the whole property for sale for 4 or 5 years and never had any interest in it. And then this gentleman came along, he's very much interested in it, and we've gotten so far was the option to purchase has been filed and everything, so.
Can I interject?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Usually what we do is we continue the process, and when that buyer buys this property, it transfers to that buyer. So all of our orders would be given under his name in the future. So the property hasn't sold yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Wait.
the option to purchase is for 364 days.
When
which
did
will
you
be
sign
By
that?
the end of the year.
Yeah,
Okay,
great.
so you signed it near the beginning of the year? The option?
Yeah, should be.
If
Okay.
the
Keep all
buyer,
fingers crossed.
if the buyer truly wants the property and the buyer is willing to clean it up, it seems to me we continue this process and then the buyer just takes over that responsibility.
'Cause
That way we don't get
it's
caught up in.
It's a long process because there are permits and surveys and all that he's got to have done on the property. That's why, the extension on that.
I understand that. I just don't want to get in a situation where we delay it, your deal falls through, and then we're a
Yeah.
year down the road, because
We
it
need-
could happen.
We need to
Yeah.
keep this in front of us.
I agree.
So I guess we could grant an extension just for this to come back before us. Maybe not necessarily in a public hearing, but at least an update from DEA.
Well,
Sure.
I think we're at the final order stage. We could enter the final order, and then if there's at some future time that comes back in front of us, we could
Right.
grant an extension.
With the
but-
60 days from.
It's a 60 days final
final
order,
order.
and
Okay.
then they could always come and request extension
Okay.
of time.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that's
but-
how we've handled it in the past,
Right.
because
Because we're not in the point of sanctions yet. We're just issuing the final order.
Yeah,
Okay.
our goal has always been to move the process forward, and that's what I think we should continue to do. It shouldn't interfere with what you're doing, trying to sell them, because if they truly have the intention of cleaning it up, then what we're doing is not going to affect them. But we also like to see some kind of progress on any of these, and it would be good if somebody, whether it's you or the potential buyer, makes some progress on them, because we're a lot more friendly for extensions if we have seen progress.
Yeah, we need to close
All
public.
right. I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on DEA case 2022-03.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the final order on DEA case 2022-03 as presented.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 I have one more public hearing for DEA. This is DEA case 2022-04. This is Shirley L. White at 110 McLeod Road in Scott Depot, West Virginia, tax map 214, 72.8. It's the parcel. On January 14th, 2022, a complaint was filed at the Office of Planning and Infrastructure. On February 1st, an inspection was conducted. The complaint was deemed valid and revealed the structure was starting to dilapidate, as well as trash and refuse on the property. On February 2nd, a notification of complaint letter was mailed to the property owner via certified mail. A copy of the letter is attached as Exhibit A. On February 3rd, the property owner did sign for the certified letter. On February 10th, the case was heard by the DEA Board. The recommendations from the DEA Board to the County Commission included repair the roof, gutters, windows, and doors, as well as removal of all trash, refuse, debris, and overgrown vegetation from off the lot of record. On February 24th, the County Commission heard the case and accepted the petition and filed the formal complaint. On March 4th, the formal complaint and attachments were sent to the property owner via certified mail, along with the letter detailing public hearing request. A copy of the complaint is attached as Exhibit B. On March the 7th, the property owner signed for the documents. A copy of the return receipt is attached as Exhibit C. On March the 8th, a correction letter was sent to the property owner because the recommendations in the letter were not correct. A copy of the correction letter is attached as Exhibit D. On March the 10th, the property owner signed for the letter. A copy of the return receipt is attached as Exhibit E. On March the 18th, the property owner's son, Brandon White, sent a written request via email to the county clerk, Brian Wood, requesting a public hearing. A copy of the email is attached as Exhibit F. On March 18th, an order scheduling public hearing on landowners' written request for a hearing was signed and approved by the County Commission President. A copy of the order is attached as Exhibit G. On April 19th, Brandon White, the property owner's son, submitted new photographs and a statement via email for the hearing. A copy of the correspondence is attached as Exhibit H. On April 21st, another inspection was conducted. Photographs of the inspection is included as Exhibit I. On April 25th, 2022, newly evidence was presented. Jason Minchello claimed that he is part owner of the property, which is included in a will. Options were given to Mr. Minchello, which included postponing the public hearing so that he could be formally notified via mail of notice of complaint, or provide a statement that would forego the notice and continue with the public hearing. He chose to continue with the public hearing. A copy of his statement is attached as Exhibit J. However, on April 26, 2022, it was discovered that the formal complaint was already served. A copy has been provided to Mr. Minchello tonight. And it's also on record in the clerk's office. I would like to ask, would Mr. Mancello like to proceed with the public hearing?
Like to make a motion to open a public hearing on DEA case 2022-04.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. If you would, state your name and address for the record, please, into the microphone.
Your name and address.
My name is Shirley L. White. I am the executress to my mother's estate.
Your address.
Oh, the address is 110A McLeod Road, but my address is 173 Kettle Street, Williamstown, West Virginia.
Okay, thank you. What comments would you like to make? This is a public hearing now.
My name's Charles White, her husband. We'd like to thank the commission for allowing us this hearing. Upon receipt of the letter back in February, we contacted Tays Valley Lawn Care at that time to see if they could help us out. And they have been mowing our grass there for several years now. And they agreed to go ahead and clean up the debris off the back patio, clean up the vegetation on the side of the house, and cut down some of the trees around the house that didn't need to be there. And after that, my son and I went down a couple weeks later and cut down a lot more of the shrubbery out behind the house. And this past weekend, or the weekend before last, we went ahead and cleaned out the patio, or the garage, the carport area. But we're asking for extension of time to complete, because we know it needs a new roof and new gutters and new soffit, that type of thing, and new windows in the back, and a rear door in the back. And basically, we need more time to do that. At the present time, my wife's niece's son has decided to buy or purchase the house, and right now, the purchase is in the progress, is progressing right now. But even so, he would still need more time to complete the roof and this type of thing. That, from what I've read so far, it's not a good time to replace the roof this time of year. It's better to do it in the fall, but at the same time, it needs to be done a lot sooner than that. So I would imagine that he or us, one, would have it done within 60 days or maybe a little more than that. So basically, we're asking for an extension of time to do that.
Okay. So just so you're aware, even if we accept final order, it has 60 days before it comes back before us again, and that could show progress in that time. And
Yes, we've been showing progress all
Right.
along. I think Ms. Peck has provided you with pictures
Yes.
of what we've done so far, and
Yes, sir.
provided you with pictures of what it was before.
Right.
So we have made some progress, and
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you I'll give it to him. I'll go ahead and give it to him. Thank you very much.
so whatever additional time that you could give us, we would appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate the progress that has been made. We understand the circumstances.
And we would would Ms. Peck be able to tell us what the end would be? At what point would we be satisfying the county as what we're doing?
Yes, I think that's listed in,
Once the roof's on? the
yeah,
side?
repair the roof, the gutters, windows and doors, and you've already removed all the trash, debris, and overgrown vegetation, so,
It would probably end at that point then?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's according to the dilapidated board's recommendation. Ms. Peck, I would assume that you've seen progress in this
Oh,
case.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes.
So even if we go ahead and issue the final order, you still have 60 days to continue to make progress. What the final order does is keeps it in front of us. So we can just check up and make sure things are still progressing like you've described here this evening.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wants to make public comment regarding this case at this time?
Justin Mincello is my wife's niece's son that's purchasing the property, so he may want to say something.
Okay, sure. Come on up, Justin. If you would, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Justin Michello. The address is 110 McLeod Road, but I currently live in 692 Grand Terrace, Hayward, California.
Okay.
As we are in the process of doing where they give me their half, we are signing all the paperwork after this and getting that done. And then I do have a few people that I'm talking to about the roof, kind of deciding on who I would like to go with first. Also, I do have a meeting Tuesday with Lowe's to kind of see if maybe I might want to go with them, just because, you know, it's a lot easier to do that. The doors, we did do the measurements and everything on that. They're a little bit different than the sizing than at Lowe's, so we have to kind of maybe special order a door, and the windows, we are getting that fixed also. We measured that and getting that processed.
So as the potential new owner, just want you to understand, as a commission, we want to see progress towards these end goals.
Mhm.
So if we issue a final order here this evening, that will have 60 days before Ms. Peck brings it back before us with any updates that have happened. Again, the goal is to keep it in front of us until we get to the point where we dismiss the case and move on.
Okay.
So keep making as much progress as you can. Commissioners, any questions before we close public hearing?
Yeah, I would just like to say, reiterate what you said, only make sure that there's clarity, that within the 60-day period, that there must be continued progress. And then I think we would be much more flexible in giving an extension if you continue the process. But if it's 60 days from now and you haven't made any progress from today to then I think we would be less inclined to give you an extension.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you guys that also too. Like if, say I did the roof and, maybe a little bit more time to kind of maybe something else that you needed,
Right.
if there could be, yeah.
Just say to them in 2 weeks, everything will be done.
We are planning though to have everything done within 2 weeks.
Oh,
so,
that'd be
yeah,
great.
so,
then.
I mean,
by the time we issue a final order, we have 60 days. So if you get it done in 2 months, we'll be in good shape.
yeah. So we are planning on trying to get all that situated.
Any other questions?
Sir.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to close public hearing on day of case 2022-04.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to accept the final order on day of case 2022-04 as presented.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Tina, you can proceed.
Oh, okay. This is day of case 2022-20, which is the final order. Respondent is Dennis C. Casto at 1676 Manila Ridge Road in Leon, West Virginia, tax map 113, parcel 52.4. I did an inspection on this property, and it's still in the same shape that it was in the initial inspection. This is the final order today.
Any comments from the homeowner?
He came into the office when the notice of complaint came. His intentions and goal is to get it demolished. Yeah, that's what he told me.
Okay,
Yep.
but no actual action.
No action.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to have a hearing except the final order. All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the final order on day of case 2022-20.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 In next case, I am petitioning the county commission to accept and file a formal complaint against case number 2022-16, Ryan C. Hilty, respondent. A written complaint was received on February 18th, 2022. The inspection was conducted on February 18th for property located at 12657 Charleston Road in Red House, West Virginia, tax map 174, parcel 39.1. Photographs were taken at the time of the on-site inspection and are attached as Exhibit A. Public records indicate that the landowner of the property is Ryan C. Hilty. A copy of the deed and tax records are attached as Exhibit B. The landowner did sign for the certified letter on April 1st. Proof of certified letter return receipt is attached as Exhibit C. The day of recommendation shall include the demolition of the structure as well as removal of all demolition debris, trash, refuse, and overgrown vegetation from off the lot of record.
So that's the only response from the homeowner is just signing the document?
Well, I've heard that the property actually sold within a month, and then Ryan C. Hilty said that his intention is also to demolish the structure.
Okay.
Yep. But he just purchased it in September, so he's waiting on finer weather.
We're going to accept it.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to accept the complaint on day of case 2022-16.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'm petitioning the county commission to accept and file the formal complaint against case number 2022-22, Jeremy E. and Melinda A. Crowell. A written complaint was received on March 30th, 2022. The inspection was conducted on March 30th for property located at 83 Oak Ridge Road in Buffalo, West Virginia, tax map 152, parcel 3.4. Photographs were taken at the time of the on-site inspection and are attached as Exhibit A. Public records indicate that the landowners of the property are Jeremy E. and Melinda A. Crowell. A copy of the deed and tax records are attached as Exhibit B. The landowners did sign for the certified letter on April 4th. Proof of certified letter return receipt is attached as Exhibit C. The day of recommendation shall include securing the structure and removal of all debris, trash, and refuse, and overgrown vegetation from off the lot of record.
All right. Before we move forward, I think we need to go back to 2022-16. We accepted the complaint. I think we need to make a motion to file the order.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to file the order on 2022-16 as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. So the homeowner on 2022-22, what kind of response have you had? Discussions?
They have emailed me only to ask who complained about their property.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the complaint as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Also like to make a motion to file the order on the complaint as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sorry. Okay, this is case number 2022-25.
Do we have 24?
It's really weird.
Looks like
I
Finn-
did have it when I checked the agenda with the packet. It was there, so I apologize. I do have a copy on my desk if I could.
We have our copy.
Yeah, we have our copies.
I don't have it in front of me,
Pass
I'm
one
sorry.
down. You gotta pass one.
I apologize. Thank you. Okay. I'm petitioning the county commission to accept and file the formal complaint against case number 2022-24, respondents Paul F. and Barbara L. Finley. A written complaint was received on March the 17th, 2022. The inspection was conducted on March 19th for property located at 20 Moore Lane in Winfield, tax map 185, parcel 10. Photographs were taken at the time of the on-site inspection and are attached as Exhibit A. Public records indicate that the landowners of the property are Paul F. and Barbara L. Finley. A copy of the deed and tax records are attached as Exhibit B. The landowners did sign for the certified letter on February 25th. Proof of certified letter of return receipt is attached as Exhibit C. The day of recommendation shall include removal of all debris, trash, and refuse from off the lot of record.
Like to,
Any contact from the homeowners?
Sorry,
You're fine.
it's been a long week. No, but they have made fantastic progress. There's not very much left to do on this property.
We're looking at
2024.
2022-24.
Yes,
If it's the one I'm thinking about, it's,
they have removed a lot of debris.
they got a long ways to go.
They do have a ways to go, yes, but
So
is this to the final order stage, or?
No, this is just.
this is
Just
just
accept
a,
the complaint.
yes.
Okay. Like to make a motion to accept the complaint on DAYA case 2022-24 as presented.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like to make a motion to file the order on DAYA case 2022-24 as presented.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, this is the last of the formal complaints. I am petitioning the county commission to accept and file the formal complaint against case number 2022-25, MCQ Properties LLC respondent. A written complaint was received on March 25th, 2022. The inspection was conducted on March 30th of 2022 for property located at 13 Pinecone Drive in Poco, West Virginia, tax map 226G, parcel 23. Photographs were taken at the time of the on-site inspection are attached as Exhibit A. Public records indicate that the landowner of the property is MCQ Properties LLC. A copy of the deed and tax records are attached as Exhibit B. The landowners did sign for the certified letter on April 5th, 2022. Proof of certified letter of return receipt is attached as Exhibit C. The day of recommendation shall include securing the structures and removal of all debris, trash, and refuse from off the lot of record.
Any contact from the business owner?
Yes, he has been in contact with our office. They have removed a lot of the trash and debris. There's still a little bit left to go, in my opinion.
Okay. So we still need to move forward, in your opinion?
Okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the order on DAYA case 2022-25 as presented.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Also like to make a motion to file the order on DAYA case 2022-25.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I got one left for the DAYA. This is DAYA case 2021-46, James Turner respondent at 45 Willow Rose Drive in Herkin, tax map 240C, parcel 82. I'm requesting that the county commission put a stay in place of this case and grant an extension to Mr. James Turner. He came into our office, I believe it was yesterday. He's asking for an extension of 6 months. I know that's a lot to ask, but I really hope that the county commission could consider at least 3 months to 4 for Mr. Turner.
When was this complaint made?
I don't
Fairly
recall.
recently,
I'd
or-
have to grab
it's
the
from
packet.
2021.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It was last year. I think it was September. I don't know. It was 2020, end of 2021, just put it that way.
What are the circumstances that you're asking for an extension under?
James Turner lives by himself. He is an older gentleman. He's completely bent over. An elderly man. His wife is in a nursing home. His son lives in I think it's his son his son lives in California, so he has no help. His daughter has not talked to him in 10 years. So from what he has told me personally, he has no one to help him.
So there has been no progress made?
No, not at all. It's at right now it's in the sanction stage. And basically, I gave him his last invoice, which totaled $8,600 in the sanction stage.
Would Mr. Turner be accepting of an offer to help him from neighbors?
I would love to ask him, but I don't think to be honest, in my opinion, from what I've seen of the neighbors, they're not going to help him. I actually met one of his neighbors the first time I talked to him.
I was thinking that I would help Mr. Turner.
Oh, that would be amazing if you.
I'm familiar with this particular case.
He needs a lot of help.
Okay.
He really
Larry,
does.
we have the ability at some point to go in and clean that up and then just file a lien against the property for a future date of sale. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So what would be the process we need to go through here in order to do that?
Same thing we did for the Tinsleys. Same thing we did for the Tinsleys. Remember? If you remember the Tinsley case, that's still, I think, almost getting ready to be demolished, I think. We did an agreement that we would come in and tear it down and they would pay the county back.
Yes, we have to have an agreement in order to do that. In that particular
Right.
case, they were willing to agree that. I would be interested in giving a 30-day extension and have you enter negotiations with him to see if he would agree to that. If it's a mutual agreement, that speeds up the process dramatically. I'll make that motion.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. We've got a rezoning application. Ms. Peck, are you doing that as well?
Yes.
Thank you. That's your,
This is Res 2021-03, Timothy and P. Don Spradling, tax map 22222G, parcel 139, and tax map 222, parcel 41, 1012, tract A, and 1006, tract B, at Mount Vernon Road in Hurricane, West Virginia. Application. Timothy and P. Don Spradling has submitted a zoning amendment application and disclosure statement for rezoning for properties located on tax map 222G, parcel 139, and tax map 222, parcel 41, which are located at 1012, tract A, and 1006, tract B, at Mount Vernon Road in Hurricane, West Virginia, to rezone the properties from an R1 single-family residential district to a C1 suburban commercial district. I would like to submit a copy of the facts and all attachments that I have given to you to be admitted into the record as part of this proceeding.
You need a motion on that, Larry?
No, not necessarily. She's just asking that it be admitted. You can make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we enter the documentation as presented.
Second?
got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 History. Res 2014-01, the PCPC Board recommended denial on March 27, 2014. The County Commission denied request on June the 10th, 2014. Res. 2014-04, the PCPC Board recommended denial on January 27, 2015. The County Commission denied request on February 10, 2015. Res. 2019-02, the PCPC Board tabled the matter on January 21, 2020, and recommended approval on April 21, 2020. The County Commission denied request on May the 12th, 2020. Res. 2021-01, the PCPC Board recommended approval on April 20th, 2021. The applicant withdrew his application at the County Commission meeting on April 29th, 2021. Res. 2021-03, the PCPC Board recommended approval on July the 20th, 2021. Facts that need to be determined. The proposed amendment would protect and promote the public health, safety, convenience, morals, and general welfare. The governing body, with the advice of the Planning Commission, must find that the amendment is consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan. If the amendment is inconsistent, the governing body, with the advice of the Planning Commission, must find that there have been major changes of an economic, physical, or social nature within the area involved which were not anticipated when the comprehensive plan was adopted, and those changes have substantially altered the basic characteristics of the area. Reference documents are at your seat, which include Tays Valley Land Use Plan, US 35 Corridor Management Plan, Putnam County Community Plan 2014, Bridging to the Future, and the Putnam County Comprehensive Plan. State code authority may be found in West Virginia State Code, Section 8A-7-8, Amendment to the Zoning Ordinance by the governing body. West Virginia State Code, Section 8A-7-9, Amendments to the Zoning Ordinance by petition. Legal authority may be found in the zoning ordinance for the zoned unincorporated areas of Putnam County, West Virginia, Article 2000.01, Power of the County Commission, Article 2000.02, Initiation of Amendment to the Ordinance, Article 2000.03, Filing Procedures. Zoning Description. Zoning Ordinance for the Zone Unincorporated Areas of Putnam County, West Virginia, Article 400, R1 Single Family Residential District Purpose. It is the intent of the R1 Single Family Residential District to establish low-density residential areas consisting of single-family dwellings and compatible uses. This district shall provide for the requirements consistent with the community values and needs, standards consistent with those values and needs, and appropriate for a single-family district shall, A, stabilize and protect the district's residential character while promoting a sustainable environment for family life. B, provide for the access of light and air to windows while providing privacy by controlling the spacing and height of structures. C, require the provision of open space and the regulation of signs to enhance the quality of life. And D, require the provision of off-street parking to promote a safe and effective traffic circulation system. Article 600, C1, Suburban Commercial District Purpose. It is the intent of the C1 Suburban Commercial District to provide for retail businesses and services that serve primarily the residents of suburban areas of the county. This district shall allow convenience and personal service establishments generally compatible through proper site planning with residential uses. By limiting the number of uses and intensity of development, the surrounding residential and commercial property values shall be enhanced by protecting them from excessive levels of noise, lighting, or other nuisances. Facts. A copy of the application and disclosure statement, as well as the application fee receipt, has been included as Attachment A. And I want to add on record that the County Commission did waive this application fee, but the applicant insisted on paying this application fee, and in the end, it did save the county some money. The applicant has submitted a deed attesting to ownership of the properties. A copy of the deed has been included as Attachment C. On May 24th, 2021, a 30-foot strip of land was merged with parcel 41. A copy of the certificate of transfer from the assessor's office, along with the references for the merger of the tracts that now make up parcel 41, and maps have been included as Attachment D. Article 400, R1 Single Family Residential District, which describes the permitted principal uses, accessory uses, special permit uses, and development standards for the R1 district, has been included as Attachment E. Article 600, C1 Suburban Commercial District, which describes the permitted principal uses, accessory uses, special permit uses, and development standards for the C1 district, has been included as Attachment F. The lots at 1006 and 1012 Mount Vernon Road are both vacant. A copy of the zoning map and photographs of the site and area has been included as Attachment G. The proposed rezoning site is outlined in blue. The zoning districts which are adjacent to the subject parcel include the following: R1 Single Family Residential District to the north, C1 Suburban Commercial District to the south, R1 Single Family Residential District, and C1 Suburban Commercial District to the east and west. On April the 11th, 2021, the owners from the Tractor Supply Company store contacted staff via email and stated that their position on the rezoning is guided by whatever their tenant desires. A copy of the email has been included as Attachment H. Would the president like for me to read the correspondence into record?
I know I'm familiar. Commissioners, do you? We read it.
I'm familiar.
I think we're okay. Thank you.
May I ask, do you want me to read any correspondence into record tonight? If you're familiar with.
We're going to have a public hearing. I think we're okay.
Okay. The property is served by public water and sewer services. Members of the public have submitted correspondence to OPI. Copies of all received documentation has been included as Attachment I. On June the 4th, 2021, Ms. P. Dawn Spradling submitted a letter from the DOH and signed by Manu Saudi, traffic engineer, and addressed to Timothy Spradling and dated January 23rd, 2015. A copy of the letter has been included as Attachment J. On June the 4th, 2021, Ms. P. Dawn Spradling submitted a letter from the Director of Transportation for Putnam County Schools and dated January 22nd, 2015. A copy of the letter is attached as Attachment K. On June 4th, 2021, Ms. P. Dawn Spradling submitted a letter dated January 27th, 2015 from Randolph Engineering and addressed to Ms. Sandy Millett, former OPI Director. Jacob White, PE, states that any improvements to the property must address stormwater prior to permitting. He also states that a factor of safety is included in the design of drainage facilities, which would improve but may not eliminate drainage problems downstream. A copy of the letter has been included as Attachment L. On June 15th, 2021, the applicant, all abutting landowners within 250 feet, and signers of a petition were notified of the proposed rezoning and the July 20th, 2021 Putnam County Planning Commission public hearing as required. A copy of the notices has been included as Attachment M. On June 17th and 24th, 2021, a legal advertisement describing the rezoning request and Putnam County Planning Commission public hearing date and time was published in the Hurricane Breeze as required. A copy of the invoices, submittal letter, and newspaper clipping have been included as Attachment N. On July 13th, 2021, signs describing the rezoning request were posted on both sites. Photographs of the site sign notice have been included as Attachment O. On July the 20th, 2021, the rezoning request was heard by the Putnam County Planning Commission. The decision was made to recommend approval. A copy of the date stamped meeting agenda, public hearing sign-in sheet, and approved minutes have been included as attachment P. The President of the Putnam County Planning Commission signed the petition order entitled Petition on behalf of the Putnam County Planning Commission to amend zoning ordinance pursuant to West Virginia Code Section 8A-7-9. A copy of the certified, attested, and recorded petition order has been included as attachment Q. On July 21st, 2021, the applicant, all abutting landowners within 250 feet, and signers of a petition were notified of the proposed rezoning, and the July 29th, 2021 Putnam County Commission public hearing date and time as required. A copy of the notices has been included as attachment R. On July 26, 2021, signs describing the rezoning and the Putnam County Commission public hearing date and time were posted on both sites. Photographs of the site sign notice have been included as attachment S. The history of the rezoning request made by the applicant is as follows. PC-2014-01, the Spradlings applied to rezone the property, tax map 222, parcels 40.4 and 41 on April 16, 2014, from an R1 to a C1. The Planning Commission Board recommended to deny rezoning to the County Commission on May 27, 2014. The County Commission accepted the recommendation and denied the request on June 10, 2014. Copies of administrative documents have been included as attachment T. Res 2014-04, the Spradlings applied to rezone their property, tax map 222, parcels 40.4 and 41, on December 23, 2014, from an R1 to a C1. The Planning Commission Board recommended to deny rezoning to the County Commission on January 27, 2015. The County Commission accepted the recommendation and denied the request on February 10, 2015. Copies of administrative documents have been included as attachment U. Res 2019-02, the Spradlings applied to rezone their property, tax map 222 and 222G, parcels 40.4 and 41, and 139 on October 10, 2019, from an R1 to a C1. On January 21st, 2020, the Planning Commission tabled the matter. Copies of administrative documents have been included as attachment V. Res 2019-02, on April 21st, 2020, the Planning Commission recommended approval to the County Commission. On May 12th of 2020, the County Commission denied request. Copies of administrative documents have been included as attachment W. Res 2021-01, the Spradlings applied to rezone their property, tax map 222, parcels 40.4 and 41 on March 9th, 2021, from an R1 to a C1. The Planning Commission Board recommended approval to the County Commission on April 20th, 2021. On April 29th, 2021, the applicant withdrew their application at the County Commission meeting because planning staff found a discrepancy between the plat maps and legal description in the deed. Copies of administrative documents have been included as attachment X. The Planning Commissioner, President Jacob Pack, signed a petition. A copy of the recorded petition has been included as attachment Y. Res 2021-03, the Spradlings applied to rezone their property, tax map 222G, parcel 139, and tax map 222, parcel 41, on May 25th, 2021, from an R1 to a C1. The Planning Commission Board recommended approval to the County Commission on July the 20th, 2021. Copies of the administrative documents are attached as attachment Z. The Planning Commissioner, President Jacob Pack, signed a petition. A copy of the recorded petition has been included as attachment AA. The July 29th, 2021 meeting of the County Commission to hear Res 2021-03 was placed on hold due to a show cause order issued by Judge Stowers of the Circuit Court 2. The court ordered that the proceedings on Mr. Spradling's rezoning request be stayed until the Circuit Court makes a final ruling on the petitions. Copies of the order to rule to show cause, case number CC-40-2021-P-71, as well as the verified petition for writ of mandamus and/or writ of prohibition, has been included as attachment BB. On February 15th, 2022, at 3:47:38 p.m., the order denying petition for writ of mandamus and/or prohibition against Putnam County Commission, case number CC-40-2021-P-71, was filed by the Circuit Court of Putnam County, West Virginia. The rule to show cause be discharged and that the stay on the Putnam County Commission from holding a public hearing and considering the rezoning petition be lifted. A copy of the order has been included as attachment CC, as well as the case file in its entirety submitted to OPI staff on April 25th, 2022 by the Circuit Court Clerk. On February 17th, 2022, the applicant and all abutting landowners within 250 feet of the subject parcels were sent certified letters as notification to the March 24th, 2022 Putnam County Commission public hearing date and time and rezoning request. A copy of the return receipts and letters is attached as attachment DD. On the same day, all rezoning attendees at the Putnam County Planning Commission public hearing on July the 20th, 2021, as well as citizens who signed a petition, was sent notification. A copy of the notification has been included as attachment EE. On February 24th and March the 3rd, 2022, a Class 2 legal advertisement describing the rezoning request and Putnam County Planning Commission public hearing date and time was published in the Hurricane Breeze as required. A copy of the submitted letter and confirmation email, as well as the invoice and newspaper clippings, has been included as attachment FF. On March the 16th, 2022, signs describing the rezoning and the Putnam County Commission public hearing date and time were posted on both sites. Photographs of the site sign notices have been included as attachment GG. On March 16th, 2022, staff received an email with an attachment letter from an opponent of the rezoning request. An attachment in the letter, Exhibit A, highlighted a clerical error regarding the date as described in the legal advert notice for the March 24th, 2022 County Commission scheduled public hearing. Refer to attachment IA for a copy of the letter. On March 17th, 2022, the decision by the Office of Planning and Infrastructure staff was made to reschedule the public hearing for April 26th, 2022. An evening meeting was scheduled so all interested parties could attend. On March the 18th, 2022, a resubmittal of the Class 2 legal advertisement describing the rezoning request in the Putnam County Planning Commission public hearing newly scheduled date and time was published in the Hurricane Breeze on March the 24th and March 31st, 2022, as required. A copy of the administrative documents, submitted letter, and confirmation email, as well as the invoice and newspaper clipping, have been included as attachment HH. On March 18th, 2022, the applicant and all abutting landowners within 250 feet of the subject parcels were sent certified letters as notification to the April 26, 2022 Putnam County Commission public hearing newly date and time and rezoning request as required. A copy of the return receipts and letters is attached as attachment II. On the same day, all rezoning attendees at the Putnam County Planning Commission public hearing on July 20th, 2021, as well as citizens who signed a petition, was sent notification. A copy of the notification has been included as attachment JJ. On March 17th, 2022, replacement site sign notices of the April 26th, 2022 Putnam County Commission public hearing were posted on both subject parcels. Photographs are attached as attachment KK. A letter from the West Virginia Department of Transportation, Division of Highways, relating to potential improvement projects for Mount Vernon Road and Cow Creek Springdale Road to Sleepy Hollow Loop is dependent upon funding. A copy of the letter is attached as Attachment LL. Public comments received called to question the roadway width of Mount Vernon Road at the site. A diagram labeling the roadway width is attached as Attachment MM. Article 1500, Drainage and Storm Sewers, gives details on stormwater drainage standards for commercial developments within the zone unincorporated area of Putnam County. 1500.02D allows Planning Commission staff to require drainage mitigation and access of minimum drainage standards for areas of critical concern. Where it is anticipated that the additional runoff incident to the development may overload an existing downstream drainage facility, the Planning Commission or officer may withhold approval of the development until provision has been made for the improvement of the said potential condition in such sum as the Planning Commission or officer shall determine. No development shall be approved unless adequate drainage will be provided to an adequate drainage watercourse or facility, as determined by the Planning Commission or officer. A copy of Article 1500D is attached as Attachment NN. A property impact study research report of proposed zoning change residential to commercial prepared by the RPC Group LLC on April 28, 2021, as well as a letter from Jim Corsaro regarding the assessment by Director of Transportation, Mr. Pat Clark, is attached as Attachment OO. A sidewalk study was conducted on February 22, 2016 by CDM Smith, project number U340-34-/14-0.0000. CDM presented the final report to the WVDOH. A copy of Mr. Casaro's letter is attached as Attachment PP. Drawings showing boundaries of residential property to commercial property are attached as Attachment QQ. Mrs. Cindy Kramer provided Jim Casaro a letter refuting the letter given to Mr. Spradling by the West Virginia Department of Transportation, Division of Highways on January 23, 2015. Mrs. Kramer's letter, as well as the letter to Mr. Spradling, is attached as Attachment RR. On May 20th, 2014, Jason Owens, former Deputy Director 911/Emergency Management, provided a Cedar Drive to Mount Vernon Road, Tays Valley Road motor vehicle collisions report 2009-20, May 2014 report. A copy of the report is attached as Attachment SS. On May 19, 2021, Mr. Pat Clark, Transportation Director, refuted a letter from Mr. John Hudson, then Superintendent of Schools, dated January 22, 2015. The letter was regarding an investigation of Mount Vernon Road and school bus transportation issues. Additionally, Jerry and Joyce Gladwell provided former OPI staff Patricia Usher with a letter stating West Virginia State Code Title 126, Series 92, and their concerns for safety of children. A copy of correspondence is attached as Attachment TT. West Virginia State Code Section 8A-7-8 and Sections 8A-7-9, part of the Senate Bill 454, passed on March 13, 2004, and became effective 90 days after passage. A copy of the bill has been included as Addendum A. Section 8A-7-8, part of House Bill 4511, was amended on March 7, 2008, and effective from the date of passage. Section 8A-7-9 has never been amended. A copy of the bill has been included as Addendum B. The Planning Commission public hearing for July 20th, 2021, including evidence considered during the decision-making process, included disclosure of conflict, facts presented, applicant comments, public comments. These are all included in your packet. Planning Commission discussion. Facts presented by the Planning Commission as reasons for recommending approval is included in your packet. For criteria 1, motion carried 7-4. For criteria 2, motion carried 8-3. Planning Commission action. Motion by the Planning Commission for recommendation to the County Commission for rezoning request 2021-03. The motion carried 7-4. Options. The County Commission may take a variety of action on the proposed request. Should the County Commission desire further information regarding the application or facts and hearsay presented during the public hearing, the matter may be postponed for action at a later date. Should the County Commission find that the application protects and promotes the public health, safety, convenience, moral, and general welfare, and meets the intent of the reference planning documents, then the request can be approved. Should the County Commission find that the application does not protect and promote the public health, safety, convenience, moral, and general welfare, or does not meet the intent of the reference planning documents, then the request can be denied. There's a Res 2021-03 worksheet at your seat to help guide you. At this time, I would like to respectfully ask the President if I may be seated during the public comments portion of this hearing.
Not before I get my bad dad joke in and ask you to repeat everything you just said.
Can I throw this at you first?
Have a seat, Tina, thank you.
One more thing. I should have asked that question last. I'm sorry. It's been a long week. I would also respectfully like to ask the President to not adjourn until Larry, Fry, and I finish the order if a decision is made today.
Okay.
That way we can get it recorded tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, so looking over our sign-in sheet, looks like we had 6 people that had marked they want to speak regarding this issue. So, Commissioners, what do you think? 2 minutes per person?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so with that, I'll entertain a motion to open up a public hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to open public hearing.
I'm going to make a second. Jeremy, you going to time them?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. So first up, we have Todd Dillon.
My name is Todd Dillon. I live in Meadowood Estates and grew up at Green Acres, which is located right across the street from this location. I'd like to start by saying, here we go again. Despite the overwhelming public opposition, this somehow continues to make its way through the zoning process to be reconsidered. When looking at rezoning, several things must be considered. What's the impact to property and home values? What's the impact to safety, security, and traffic? Has something significant occurred in that area specific in recent years to justify this change? A published study from the RPC group has shown that the residents can expect a significant loss in their personal property value overnight with this change. What are you to tell the 30 to 40 homeowners in this area when their home equity goes belly up or they're substantially slashed? Traffic can be nightmarish for most parts of the day, and Mount Vernon Road has several blind or limited visibility turns. Increasing commercial creep in this area will lead to a greater risk of safety concerns. Are we to expect commercial vehicles to frequent the blind corner by Woods and Irons? Here's another key point. I've heard it said we must promote business growth and development. Nobody disagrees with that point, but you can be pro-business expansion and pro-resident at the same time. The two are not mutually exclusive. We have ample commercially zoned property available on Tays Valley Road. Buildings left and right safe for sale or lease today. For the residents here, since announcing my bid to be your next county commissioner back in November, issues just like this rezoning have been a cornerstone of my platform. You have likely seen that I would not rezone that sign across from this property. They can promise you the world with gold-plated streets, sidewalks, and better drainage, but we know the reality. At best, you will get a non-continuous sidewalk and streets that are no wider, but you will expect decreased property values and increased headaches. If you want to be run over by a county commissioner, I encourage you to keep things the same. If you're looking for someone who will give you a voice and a seat at the table and will make decisions that are going to consider your safety, property values, and well-being, then I'm looking forward to serving you. Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Chuck Johnson. I forgot to mention, Chuck, if you wouldn't mind, put your name and address on the record,
Yes,
please.
Chuck Johnson. I live at 31 Cedar Drive in Hurricane. The first thing is I have an objection to the legal notice provided. The law requires 30 days notice by Class 2 legal advertisement, which was not done in this case. The last legal ad was posted on the 31st, and that's only 26 days from today's date. So technically, there's insufficient notice to have this hearing. So I think that the commission would be wise to take that under advisement and perhaps continue this hearing and have proper notice. Should this go up to the court again, we'd hate to have the applicant or the opponents frustrated by that technicality. I put in a lengthy letter, so I'm just going to try to hit the high points. The real frustration with this development, it's not needed. You're sort of trying to hammer a square peg into a round hole. The safety issue is paramount. I've actually slipped trying to walk down that road on the subject property. There's no sidewalks, and the proposal to develop sidewalks is probably not going to be developed in 2 or 3 years. It may never be developed. It's not funded now, and that doesn't serve as a basis to show a change in conditions to vary from the current plan. It's just inconsistent with the current plan and should be denied. There's no plan for parking. The study that was done to show the loss in property value should be taken under advisement. It was very well done. There's really been no major change in an economic, physical, or social nature that would justify approval of this project. It's inconsistent with the residential neighborhood, and with that, I would propose that the county commission deny the application. I did make another objection.
It's 2 minutes.
There is
2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. The next speaker we have is Linda Tennant.
Either one, whatever you want.
Whatever
you're comfortable with.
Okay, I'm going to read. The reason why I oppose the rezoning is for the following reasons. Number one, you have received my April 22nd, 2022 letter. I won't read the letter, but those requests for points will be addressed to be included in this hearing. If there are any responses to anything in that letter, if you could provide that in writing so I could understand those. Number two, Mr. Dawson will be presenting his economic impact report. But just to let you know, just for my properties, if this is rezoned to commercial, I will probably lose about $55,000 in property loss. That's a lot of money, at least on my end. Two requests that I make, county boards and commissions should fully understand and be trained to understand the specifics of the Putnam County land use plans. The county, when I had asked for a FOIA, the county could not produce any training records where the planning board or planning commission members were trained on those 4 plans that Ms. Peck had mentioned. So I have some questions on their knowledge and their education and their understanding the impact of those plans. So I think training is very important, at least to reassure that the residents understand that anyone who makes a decision on planning understands that. The last point that I'd like to make is Article 2007, Conflict of Interest. And Mr. Ellis, how much more time do I have?
You've got 20 seconds.
20 seconds, okay. I would request that if there's any written conflict of interest identified before a planning commission meeting, that conflict of interest be written and submitted within the minutes so the public can understand exactly what that conflict of interest would be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker with Dean Dawson.
My name is Dean Dawson. I live at 176 Dogwood Circle. I'm a real estate appraiser whose focus has been primarily on residential properties for the last 37 years, although I hold a commercial license and do quite a bit of commercial also. My specialty is diminished value. That would be influences from external sources that were not compatible or were introduced after the fact into a less hostile environment. A perfect example of those would be like a very busy highway put in the middle of a residential area where you're bringing traffic and noise. I was asked by Mrs. Tennant to look at the case of the expansion or the change in zoning and what the impact of the property is. I undertook a study of looking in other areas. We have a interesting history, mainly in the Charleston and Huntington areas, but if you look at those areas, those are very mature areas. Taze Valley's a little bit different because it's the youngest stock of housing that we have in the area. So we are not subject to the same influences necessarily or the acceptance of these older neighborhoods that are used to these wide uses because most of them were implemented before zoning went into effect. The purpose of the Putnam County Comprehensive Plan was to add protection. I came to Taze Valley to be protected with my investment, which is the largest investment that I have, my home. When these people are standing before you because there's some validity to their concerns about introducing something that's external that generally for a residential use is considered a hostile use, and that's a commercial use. Do we need it? Yes, but it needs to be confined, and I'm in no way against commercial development, but it needs to be confined within the barriers or within the throughways of where you normally find commercial. You see commercial creep.
2 minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Ms. Sandra Riddle.
I want to speak about something else.
Oh, okay. Not about this issue whatsoever. Okay, gotcha. Steve DeWeese.
Good evening, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. Steve DeWeese, retired sheriff of Putnam County. And what I want to address and take under consideration tonight, Commissioners, if you would for us, is safety. As the sheriff of Putnam County, I took office in 2012. 2013, Sheets was built. And within 6 months of Sheets being built, we had numerous calls of traffic control devices, signal light being run. I went back and looked at the stats from 2000, January 1, 2000. I still have access to certain pieces of the database. And there's been 26 crashes at that intersection since 2000, January 1, 2000. And that number was accurate as of 35 days ago. I guarantee you if I would go back and look at those contributing factors during those periods of crashes, it's either one or two things. One, failure to yield the right-of-way, or two, failure to obey a traffic control device. During my third year in office, the Target Red started. National campaign driven down by the Highway Safety Commission that Commissioner Skidmore, you was aware of my first term. That particular campaign allowed deputy sheriffs to go out and enforce distracted driving, impaired driving, target red, and that particular section of highway is already congested, as the citizens know in this room. And we place deputies on the north and south of Mount Vernon, and within 4.5 hours, we have written 12 citations for target red in that particular area. The second most violated area, I guess you could say, of Putnam County is 34 and the overpass there going to 64.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Just take that in consideration.
All right, that's all the people we had signed to speak. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to close public hearing.
I make a motion to close public hearing.
I make a second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. So we have, commissioners, do we have any questions of staff or any comments at this time?
You allowed to talk about other things?
No, we'll get to that. We've got to finish this one first. I'll come back to you. I've got a note for you. I can say that I've served on the commission the longest, so I'm very familiar with this issue as it's been brought to me. So I'm pretty aware of the facts. Commissioner Ellis, I know you're newest to this issue. Do you have any questions, comments, or anything of staff?
No, sir, I can't understand the residents' concern. I mean, nobody likes change. But if this piece is commercial or residential, if it's zoned residential, he could still build an apartment building. An apartment building can't be blocked. So there would be 15 apartments, 30 cars at the end of the road. Commercial, you may end up with a nice dentist office, doctor's office, something of that nature. We don't know. But nobody likes change. I kind of disagree on the numbers from the study as far as losing $50,000 on your house. But with that being said, I definitely understand your concerns. Nobody likes that. I'm a business person, and either Tage Valley either grows or dies, and everybody knows that. Go to the lower part of the state. They're not growing, so you don't have to worry about these things. So we're blessed in a sense that we're actually even talking about this, that there is things happening here. But I will take everything that everybody said into consideration in my decision. That's really all I have.
Okay. Mr. Foster?
Okay, I did read the RPC report. I don't think it's a fair conclusion, and there's a number of reasons. A lot of the ones that were used were not in this area, and I agree with him. He did say that wasn't really the same as in our particular area, but also we looked through all the ones in Putnam County, and only 3 of those went down in value. One of those was a case where a gentleman had an illness and had to leave the area on short notice. And then 2 of those were during the year of COVID, and according to the assessor's office, both of those properties were not in as good a condition at the time of sale as they were at the time of the previous sale. So I don't think that gives a clear picture of it, and I think that one of those studies should have outliers and make sure that they correct for those particular issues. Also, in regards to traffic, obviously we have a traffic problem in parts of our county. We also have to continue to grow, and our county commission here has taken the concerns of the residents into consideration. We've had multiple meetings with the Department of Highways, and in fact, They have committed to improving Mount Vernon Road, add a sidewalk. It will go back and forth across the road in order to accommodate some of the residences. They've got 20% of the cost of that is assigned to drainage, which is a significant cost. I have spoken with the engineer who is in charge of that particular project as recently as today, and they have actually moved forward and authorized the expenditures for the engineering. So the engineering will start in September. They generally don't spend money doing engineering if they do not intend to do the project. The project will include a sidewalk that will go on one side of it. That sidewalk will be 24 inches, or excuse me, a curb and gutter as well as a sidewalk. The curb and gutter will be 2 feet wide, so you will have some additional safety when that happens. The roadway will remain 18 feet wide, but you will have that curb on one side, which will give you some safety. So I believe that is significant for Mount Vernon Road, and I believe that the County Commission did listen to your concerns. I agree with the sheriff, there is a speeding issue out there, but that issue is going to be there whether you have this business or no business. Matter of fact, we had complaints from the residents in these hearings, and we asked the sheriff to put additional staff out there because you all told us that the people were speeding there. I don't know the results of it because I didn't check, but I'm assuming that there were additional citations added. So when we hear concerns from the public, we do address those. I do want to make sure that everyone understands that we take great pride in interviewing people that sit on the Planning Commission. We make sure that they're qualified people. We make sure that they're quality people. Could we do a better job of training? Of course, you always can. But I can tell you that the people that sit on that Planning Commission are some of the finest people in this county. They're intelligent people. We have to meet certain categories on there. Just for one example, we have to have a farmer on there. Well, not only do we have a farmer, but we have a farmer that used to be in charge of instrumentation and maintenance for one of the big chemical plants in this area. We don't get just anybody to sit on that board, and every one of those are people that either this commission or the previous commission, everybody that sits on that Planning Commission had a unanimous vote from this county commission. I think we do need to rely on the people that we put in place to represent us, and a part of that is the Planning Commission. I do believe that not every zoning that was placed, every property that was zoned in the beginning, I don't think they were all zoned right. And I believe this is one of those circumstances where zoning in the beginning was incorrect. The drainage issue that many of you have spoken about in not just this hearing but other hearings will be improved by a commercial property versus a residential, because a commercial property you have to have stormwater detention. You don't have to have that with the residential. So I believe that your concerns are valid, but I think that they'll be actually improved if we take this one to commercial. Now, I understand that some of you may think, oh, well, we're just going to continue all around Mount Vernon Road and make it all commercial, and you're going to have tractor-trailer traffic, and so that's just not going to happen. This is the only property that is on Mount Vernon Road that makes sense to rezone. I believe it was rezoned, or it was zoned incorrectly to begin with. And I want to, reiterate again, the county commission listens to you. We take action upon stuff that is actionable, and the planning commission is full of good, high-quality people that do not receive any pay for what they do. So I will take up for them as well. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Question for your county attorney. Mr. Johnson did bring up a objection regarding the filing date. Do you have any response to that?
Well, the only thing I can say is the statute requires that 30 days notice, at least 30 days notice be given. The first publication date in the Hurricane Breeze was 32 days in advance. I have not found anything that said that both publication dates must be in advance of that 30 days. In fact, part of the code it has to be a Class 2 advertisement, has to take place within a 14-day period, and there has to be at least 6 days in between the first and the second time that it is published. West Virginia Code 59.3.1 talks about the publication date, and it says the publication date means the date on which a qualified newspaper is first placed in publication, or excuse me, first placed in circulation. The first date was well in advance of the 30 days.
Okay, thanks, sir. All right, gentlemen, if we have the worksheet that provides the facts that need to be determined for a zoning amendment in front of us. So the first criteria is, will the proposed amendment protect and promote the public health, safety, convenience, morals, and general welfare? And we need to state yes or no and list the reason why.
Yeah, I would say yes, and I would reiterate what Jason Asbury said at the Planning Commission, that the board has determined in the past that it would be a yes, and he still believed it was. I believe it was also. We have letters in the packet from reputable licensed engineers that the state drainage is an issue that will be improved by going with the commercial, and especially in light of the fact that the road project is moving forward, it'll make it even better. So I think it is yes, and it does promote the public health, safety, convenience, morals, and general welfare.
Mr. Ellis?
I also say, vote yes, or say yes, because I believe that would effectively be using the property effectively for the county to grow and to prosper, more so than it has.
Okay.
Mine's a yes.
I've heard, like I said, I'm longest serving commissioner. I've heard this case. Mr. Spradling met me on the property and we went through that, and I understand his reasonings for wanting to rezone it. I understand the drainage would be improved. We hold our commercial properties to a higher standard for drainage than we do residential. My biggest issue is the safety in the intersection. And I understand, I've been in the meetings with DOH and what they're proposing and what they're looking at doing. But until that's done, I don't feel like this is a safe rezoning. So I vote no. Second, we have, is the amendment consistent in achieving the objectives of the adopted comprehensive plan, US 35 Corridor Management Plan, and the Tays Valley Land Use Plan? Again, we have to answer yes or no and give our reasons why.
And once again, I would say yes. I believe it is consistent with the Tays Valley Land Use Plan because it is the best use for that particular piece of property, and that's one of the things that we are tasked with doing as a county commission.
I also say yes. Don't take that lightly, but I do believe that is the best use for the property and the best outcome for the community as a whole. So yes.
I also vote no here as well. I feel like we have, there are other opportunities, again, until that intersection is expanded by DOH. I just don't feel it is a safe to add more commercial traffic to the area. With 2 yeses and 1 no on both criteria, then we can go back to our agenda meeting, and I'll entertain a motion at this point.
All right. I'll make a motion to exit the public hearing.
We've already done.
Okay,
So, yeah,
I'm sorry.
we're on to the
Okay, I'm sorry.
the actual amendment, or the rezoning amendment.
You need me to do it? Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the rezoning, Res 2021-02.
03.
03.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Nay. Motion passes. All right. We appreciate everyone coming out. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. We have other issues to handle. I will, at this time, Ms. Riddle, since we missed you on your public comment, if you want to come up and
Before you all go, anyone that wants to see the plan, it's option number 3, if anybody wanted to look through what the state's doing.
I didn't prepare a speech or anything. I'm Sandra Halstead Riddle, and I've lived in El Dorado Acres for 33 years, and it's flooded for 33 years. And all this talk about building more is more flooding that's going to happen. My house is getting destroyed by the flooding. I've got pictures. There's other people in the neighborhood that have problems. I wanted to come and bring it to your attention. I went to, I had Commissioner Andes walked it, nothing happened. He said call the 911 every time it floods, and we'll make a file of how many times it floods, which I've got written down on paper. Ben Newhouse planned to, or wanted to get a $40,000 grant, never happened. Had meetings with all the homeowners, nothing happened.
Right.
I called the Planning Commission for years, nothing happened. They even approved me to put pipes in, and there's pipes around that make the water slow down and flood my property. My foundation is cracking.
have you talked to our new Planning Commission Director, David Call?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Where is your house again?
Over by the hospital, right?
Yeah, it's right behind the hospital. It's got the pipe is a West Virginia pipe, I mean, a state
DOH?
pipe. It's got a state pipe, and it's a man-made ditch behind my house, which goes into a regular creek, and it floods, goes under my house, around my house. It's destroyed underneath my house.
What's your address, ma'am?
6 El Dorado Acres.
Okay.
Let's see, who else? We're in the stormwater basin. I came to that meeting with video, and I was showing the people that was doing it. They said, well, we don't want to see that, and they escorted me out.
When was this?
That was back when they started the stormwater
Okay.
drainage.
At Hurricane?
Yes.
At City Hurricane?
We had a
okay.
meeting, and I was there. I'm not in great health, so my husband just died of cancer 6 months ago. So anyway, now I'm a widow. I have a teenage son. My house floods. And we've not gotten any help down there. All of my underneath is ruined. I put $5,000 worth of money underneath the house, and of course the air conditioning vents and all that stuff falls down. My neighbor just had it done next door. I just came to put a bug in y'all's ear that this is happening, and they want to build more on the other end. We hook one to Mount Vernon Road. Our stormwater goes to Mount Vernon Road at Mallard Crossing, which overflows. So I don't understand, why we can't ever get help. Like the Corps of Engineers even walked it. They said, well, we don't know what to do for you, but it's a mess. Okay, we've got the hospital, condos, the nursing home, and Candlewick, all putting water on us.
So assume
On a little
you're at a
ditch.
low point. It
We're on
kinda
our low
sound-
point, yeah. Which, back then, they didn't really plan anything. They just like, okay, you can build here, you can build there, without any thought of how the water was going to run. So I bought the house, and like the next week it flooded. So I started trying to find ways of, I've had 2 industrial sump pumps put in, burnt them up, trying to pump the water out. So, and other sump pumps. I mean, it's just a big cost. I'm not able to sell my house because I'm not going to lie and say, oh, it never floods, because it does flood several times a year.
Do
So-
you have to carry flood insurance?
That's only if it gets in your house.
Right.
My cinder blocks are high enough where they're just, the cinder block
Yeah, so it's
stuff
eroding
is
your
getting-
foundation, or?
Yeah, it's already cracked it,
Okay.
front and back, and it's already, like the cement in between the mortar, it's washing that out.
Well, I know you've tried other avenues, but I can assure you from the reports I've seen from our planning director, David Call, he's very thorough. So David, could you assist Ms. Halstead and try to gather information and give us a report back?
Yeah, I've got pictures and a video and neighbors, there's several neighbors that are concerned. I didn't want to bring all them out here if we weren't going to get any help. Because I've already been to other meetings, like it's been 30 years of trying to get some help.
I can assure you, in David's short time, what he's done here, he's done a great job of getting information and being able to present back to us what needs to happen.
Okay,
Now-
sounds good to
now,
me.
That doesn't mean he can automatically
No,
solve the problem.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
But
As
we
long as
can,
it's
we
getting
can at
there.
least look at the
Yeah.
problem and see if there's a solution to it.
There needs to be, I mean, there's no reason why I should get flooded and other people can live in their home and say, oh, they don't get flooded.
Right.
It's not, it's like a right not to have to be flooded.
We will
In my
definitely look
opinion,
into
not to
it.
have property damage.
Definitely look into it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, we have another item, discussion regarding purchase of parcels 9154 and 9162 in Poca, West Virginia by MC Inc. That's the Poca Food Fair and adjoining parcel, and discussion of a potential 15-year pilot agreement. With this, I just wanted to start this conversation. Our development authority looked at the potential of buying this parcel if we had to ensure that a grocery store stayed in Poca. There is a local developer that has stepped up and has entered into a renting agreement with the current landowners to purchase the property. They anticipate a very fast close. They have asked us to the county commission to look at a pilot agreement in which the real estate stays under the development authority's name, hence staying off the tax rolls for a 15-year time frame. They're also working with the town on waiving B&O taxes. But again, I don't think there's anything to discuss or decide at this point, but I just wanted a discussion to make sure that you guys are aware and that the public's aware that looks highly viable that a grocer will stay in Poca, which is, you have a lot of people there that don't have transportation and they use that store, and it's very important to keep to that community.
Yeah, anything we can do in order to help keep a store there, I think is something we should definitely look at. You and I have talked a little bit about that process. I think it makes sense. I'd like to have that on the agenda sometime and see if we get firm offers from the current owner to the potential buyer. And we also looked at the extended expense of fixing the parking lot over years. So I think we have a lot of good information. We know what the grocery stores need to be paying in the way of rent in order to be successful in this area. So we put a lot of effort into it. I appreciate you getting this deal this close. So
Well, I know
I'd
you
love
were-
to have it on the agenda.
Yeah, you were at the town hall at Poca when we were looking at that, so you heard those citizens that
Yep.
came through. So they are in a written contract, so I think it's something that will come for us very shortly.
Great.
Sounds great.
I don't have anything to add.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And so with that, Jeremy, we still have budget revisions and any orders you may have for us?
Yeah, just two budget revisions today. The first one is Department 403, Circuit Clerk. The request is to increase contracted services by $737.88 and to decrease capital outlay $737.88.
Make a motion, we accept the budget revision as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the second budget revision is for Department 715 EMS. The request is to decrease full-time salary and wages by $15,000 and to increase part-time employee overtime by $15,000.
Make a motion to accept as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I just have one order for you today. It is from the Technology Fund in the amount of $39,461.89 payable to Dell Technologies for Dell computers for the dispatch room upgrade.
Make a motion to accept as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's all I have for you.
Right.
Mr. President, can I ask
Yes, sir.
Backing up to Ms. Pat, going back to the DAEA case of 2021-46. It never was a comment. What kind of help does this gentleman need? Is it something that his property needs cleaned up or what? I mean, is it trash around that property?
He needs somebody to bring a big dumpster and about 4 or 5 laborers to spend about an hour, or not, about a day.
I'd like to volunteer to help this gentleman out.
Well, that'd be great.
Somebody in the county would donate a dumpster. I'd like to donate some people equipment to help.
We have a way. Hey, Tina, could you get with Mr. Spradling? He's offering to help out.
Right.
So if we can work with the Solid Waste Authority to maybe get a dumpster of some sort out there.
I'm speaking on a concerned citizen, resident, and small business owner in the county. I'm not talking about, rezoning stuff at the house.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about it, the end of the,
I really think that he would appreciate that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And maybe I have to call you.
Yeah, if we can schedule something for a dumpster, I don't have any way to get rid of stuff like that, but I do have trucks and equipment, stuff like that, if they can dispose of stuff, sure.
You seen that?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else needs to come before the commission?
Make a motion, we.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, in order.
You can keep some. I didn't. I keep your pitching routine. See if I put any of your keepers in.
No, I got it. I had it all stuck in here, so we're good. This is all my note.
We were discussing the order for the rezoning, and the original intent was for us to try to put one together tonight and have you to sign it. We have decided, with your permission, we will spend some time with that order to make sure it gets right, and we'll just present it to you at the next meeting on May the 12th.
I think that'd be a great idea.
I agree.
Right. Make a motion to adjourn to our next scheduled meeting on May 12th.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 You won't have to make another copy if y'all want to keep